Hi, it's Matt here from Go Green Autos. So here we have a Volkswagen e-Golf for sale. It's a 2015 and these have a 24 kilowatt hour battery. So these e-Golfs are a more upmarket alternative to a 22 kilowatt hour Renault Zoe. You get an awful lot more kit, a far better built car, a lot better quality. So when these came out, they sort of threw everything on them. There's very few options. So it's a bit like a sort of GTI spec, but in electric. So these have LED front headlights. You get the blue strip showing that it's electric in the headlights along the grille and behind the badge there. These also have a radar down there, so it's got adaptive cruise control, LED lights, front sensors. We've also got sensors on the back. LED lights on the back as well, and then the interior, you get a unique fabric on the electric versions with this blue stitching. Very nice interior, very GTI like again. This was actually our own car for a while, and we put in these leather diamond stitch mats. It's not real leather, I don't think, it's sort of plastic leather, but blue stitching, black leather, all sort of matches the midnight blue metallic paintwork. Looks really good and you get far better coverage. And then if I just start it up, you still have a traditional key with these, but yeah, got an awful lot of equipment, as I said. Here we've got, let me just turn the radio down, we've got DAB radio, which is something you don't normally get on cars of this age, sat nav, telephone, traffic. We go to menu, we've got an awful lot of stuff you can do. You've also got a screen up there, which using these buttons down here, we can customize what you have on the driver's screen up there as well. Climate control. Our gear selector here, obviously electric vehicles have no gearbox, so you just stick it in drive and drive, but they give you a gear selector so it feels like an automatic. With these you've got an awful lot of regen settings as well, so if I just put that down to drive, you've then got plus and minus, so we've got 3 levels of regen and you can see it up there on the screen as I change it, and then on top of that you've got the B mode. And that works in any level of regen, and that gives you additional braking mode, additional regeneration, a bit like you get in a Leaf. I was going to say beef then. But yeah, very an awful lot of regen, very nice. The only thing that's not great is it doesn't remember what mode you're in. So when you get in, when I'm driving this, first thing as I do is whack it up to level 3. I also turn the climate off because it always puts the climate on. And then pull away. So got the mode button there, and you've got 3 driving modes. We've got storage in there with USB, and I assume that's a stereo input. Cup holders down there. Electric handbrake. We've also got auto hold on this car as well. A storage pocket there, and then in the glove box we've got this the Infotainment System SD card. There's also a slot up there, which I guess, I've never used it, I guess is a CD, single slot CD rather than a DVD for the multimedia. So yeah, you can pretty much get everything on these cars. And of course we've got the cruise control settings here, adaptive cruise control as I said, automatic lights as well, and electric windows and mirrors as normal. Leather steering wheel there with blue stitchings, all very nice, and a very clear display up there. So these have a 24.2 kilowatt hour battery pack. The battery is owned and has a usable capacity of about 22 kilowatt hours. This is your charge port on the side. AC charging via a type 2 port there. It's got a 3.7 kilowatt charger, that's 16 amp. And if you're going to charge on a home wall charging unit, you're going to charge from 0 to 100% in about 7 hours. This is your rapid charging port, CCS port. So when you're doing a drive and you need to charge when you're out and about, you use a public DC rapid charger, and that will get you from 0 to, well, from flat to 80% in 30 minutes. And then here we've got some buttons, which is quite a nice feature. I wish all EVs had these. So if you've got a charging schedule set in the car, so let's say for example you use cheap rate overnight charging, which is what we do. So you use Octopus Go, we get that cheap energy from 12:30 to 4:30 in the morning, where it's only a third of the cost. You set the schedule up and then the car will only charge during that time. But if you're out and about and you're, let's say, in a public car park and they've got AC charging, you plug in, you can push the button here to override the timer and it will just start charging immediately. So you don't have to go into the dash and start removing your settings. And then in the boot here, under the storage here, we have got our charge cable. This is the original Volkswagen 16 amp Type 2 to Type 2 AC charging cable. I can also supply a portable charger that allows you to charge the vehicle on a 3-pin plug, and all the details for that are on the website. Here we have the puncture repair kit, your pump and the gunk, and in this blue bag is a set, the original mats, the Volkswagen mats, the carpet mats, which you could actually put down on top of those new leather mats. And then in the back here we've got Isofix on both sides, a central armrest there with cup holders, and then you can fold all that down to give you a load through hatch. So the main purpose of this video is to show you the condition, and you've probably seen my videos before. You know, I point out every little minor stone chip mark or scratch I can find. I don't hide anything. I want people to know exactly what they're buying, and then these videos give people the confidence to buy the vehicle from afar without coming here first to view it. And I would say probably 14 out of 15 vehicles go without a viewing because of these videos. So this is in night blue metallic, as I said. It looks really good when the sun shines on it, but there are a few scratches on the car which I've got to show you, but I'm going to be super picky. Some are more visible than the others, and there's a few stone chips on the bonnet. That's the problem with dark paints, is the undercoat's often white or grey and shows up marks a lot more. But anyway, let's start at this corner. I've put we put new front tyres on. Let me just have a look what they are. So they're Dunlop Sport Blue Response, which are the quietest tyres you can get in this size, because with EVs you really want quiet tyres. I've also just had this alloy refurbished, because that did have a bit of curbing on that one, so that alloy is all like new. Well, probably better than new, to be honest. So looking around the front, there are a few stone chips in the bonnet. All the visible ones have been touched up with a bit of the proper paint and a bit of lacquer, but it's all still visible. There is a scratch there about 4 inches long, and there's a few fine scratches here. There's one there which is a bit more visible. I don't know whether we can see that if I just get my shadow there. So yeah, one there, one there, one there, one there. Small little scratch there. Looking down on the front bumper, we have got a scuff there, quite light. I can't really feel it with my finger, but of course it's plastic, but a bit too much to polish out. And then we've got a scuff there at the bottom, very low down. We've got the radar obviously there. We've got green number plates to show that it's a zero emission vehicle, because unless you know your Golfs, you're not going to know this is electric. Daytime LED running lights. Looking around this side, this wheel is in really nice condition. New tyre on the front again. A little bit of corrosion starting on that spoke where the water's got underneath the lacquer, but very minor. We've got a little scratch there and a little scratch there. Looking round this side, there is a little bit of scratching there, but again minor. Possibly a little stone chip there. There's a faint scratch there in the lacquer. This is just where you know, hedgerows and things brush by the car. A small scratch there, and then again minor scratching on this side, again just in the clear coat really. Minor scratching on this panel, again just from shrubbery and things. There is some scuffing here, well I say scuffing, scratching, again minor scratching, Everything I'm showing you I've taken pictures of, so if you go on the website, look at the photo gallery, you can zoom up, get the pictures full screen and really zoom in and have a good look in detail. This alloy again has got a little bit of corrosion under the lacquer where water gets in. You get that with diamond cut alloy wheels. Tyres are good. I put the tyre tread depths on the website. The only other thing I need to show you on this side is there is some scratching up here above the door. I suspect someone wearing a ring, a passenger was regularly in here opening the door, and there is scratching on here which is visible. Haven't put any touch-up paint in because it was too difficult to make a good job of that, but you know, you can have a go if you want to. That's about it for this side. And looking round the back, I don't think there's anything to show you. We've got a bit of dust in the paint there. The unit's quite dusty when the wind picks up. In this sunlight, I can't see anything to show you on the back. I suspect there's some minor scratching on this bumper. There's a little nick there, but nothing is visible in this light. The back is all fairly clean. There's a few little marks, but it's all what you'd expect for a vehicle of this age. We've got a 12-volt socket there. We've got our charging cable, as I've shown you, in the back. Then continuing round, tyres very good on this side. Alloy wheel is very good. A little mark there on that spoke, and that spoke, but you know, it's all better than you would expect for a car of this age. A few little scratches there. I'm being super picky pointing out these scratches. Most people really don't care about minor scratches like that. And then looking down this side, no, that's just dust. So there's a scratch there that's got a bit of touch-up paint in, about the size of my fingernail. There's another one there, it's about 1.5 inches. There's a chip there that's got some touch-up paint in, but it is quite visible. That's about half the size of my fingernail. There was a tiny little dent along here somewhere, but you know what, I cannot see it now. I'm looking along that panel. I thought it was on that back door somewhere, but I cannot see it, and I can't see one along that side. As you can see, the panels are very reflective. It's brilliant sunshine, and obviously we can see my reflection there. So I'm looking down those panels, and normally stone dents would be very visible in this sun, and I can't see it. So anything I had to find was that little dent I found before, so small that really you're not going to worry about. And then yeah, back to here. So that's all the external. There's no stone chips in the windscreen, I don't think, looking across there. No, apart from one very tiny one there. If that is yeah, that is a very tiny one there, but I can't even feel it with my fingernail, so really nothing to worry about. So yeah, that's the outside look round. And then inside we've got these new leather diamond mats which look really good. They give you a lot better coverage. All the carpet is covered. The seats are all really nice. There's nothing to point out in the back. Oh, apart from, I knew there was something. There is a scratch there. That's clearly where the seatbelt buckle's been slammed in the door. Again, it's got a bit of paint on it to protect it, and a little indentation there. Again, the same. And the speaker there has got a little indentation in the grille. That's it for the back. And then the front, I don't think there's anything to show you. All in nice condition. Seats all in nice condition. So yeah, I think that's all I need to show you, really. All good there. No scratching or wear and tear anywhere on the dash or the plastics. Yeah,
oh,
really
yes,
nice.
It's just the only thing is there's a little bit of scratching there on it. No, that door card, that bit's hard plastic, but very minor. And obviously everything works as it should do without any fault or errors.
So what everyone's worry is when they're looking at second-hand electric vehicles is battery life. So on some cars you can scan the battery, and indeed I've got the equipment to do that, and you can look at the current battery state of health. However, some cars you can't. The BMS, the battery management system, On some cars just doesn't report it, and this is one of those. However, on anything other than a Nissan, batteries will generally last the life of the vehicle, or more than last the life of the vehicle. And that's also why I favour high mileage cars ourselves. By the way, this car's done 77,623, which is a lot of miles for an electric, because electric cars tend to find owners that, particularly small battery electric cars, the original ones, tend to be bought by people that don't do many miles. But it just shows that even a 24 kilowatt hour car is more than capable of doing a lot of miles. But yes, high mileage vehicles tend to have better battery packs than low mileage vehicles, because batteries like to be cycled and used. And a car that's done a few more miles will have a significantly better battery than a low mileage car of the same age. And that is because when cars get charged overnight and they're sat at 100%, if they're not used for a few days and the batteries are left at 100%, that is when the battery degradation happens. So I've proved this so many times over the years. High mileage EVs will have better batteries than low mileage EVs, and that's exactly why I bought this car for our own use, because it's done more miles than most, and the battery will be better. So and let's just have a look here. The vehicle is pretty much fully charged. It's not completely full, and we're showing an estimated range of 103 miles. Obviously that's an estimate and it's based on recent driving history, but what I found is we're getting exactly the same mileage out of this than as you would have done when it was brand new. We're seeing 115 miles on a full charge. So there is absolutely no noticeable battery degradation whatsoever, and while I cannot get an exact figure on this battery, I suspect it is probably still at 98% or something like that. So as far as range goes, these do generally about, well, we've got an estimated range of 103. I think you will struggle to get 103 miles on most days. You're going to get around about the 90 mile mark, something like that, 90 to 100 miles. And in the winter, at very worst, on a cold day with the heating on, we would get 70 miles typically. I think about 68 miles is the worst range we've got, but that's when it's like -2 or 3 with the heating on all the time. So generally you're in the 70, 75 to 80 in the winter, and sort of around the 80 to 95 miles in the summer, something like that. This model doesn't have the heat pump heating system. It's got the resistive heater. Very few of these have the heat pump option because it was an option. So heater use does reduce range in the winter, like it does on all electric cars. If I put the air conditioning on there, we'll see the estimated range has dropped down to 83 miles. That's assuming you would keep it on all the time, which a lot of the time you don't. So I'll just show you the paperwork. We do have 2 keys there, and then we've got all of the documentation there as well. We've got the service book here. 1 service, 2 services, 3 services, 4 services, the last at 76,208 miles in November. So here we've got the V5. It shows 3 previous keepers, so 4 keepers from new. So we had recently just sold this and had to take it back off the customer, buy it back. So the last keeper only had it for a few days. And before that it was ourselves, and we ran it for, I don't know, 6 months or so. The registration date is the 13th of the 3rd, 2015. That last service that has just been done had a new cabin filter, new front blades. The brake pads are 12mm on the front, 7.5 on the back, so they're all excellent. The 12-volt battery was good, and it's also had the new front tyres. And here's the Mot Certificate, which is valid until 26th of July 2021. The only advisory on the last MOT was front tyres, and they've been changed anyway. And then that's about it. And we've got previous V5s, which we can see there. Go Green Autos. So yeah, that's all the information, and as always, everything else is on the website. So I was getting a bit distracted then because a van was reversing behind me. So this vehicle is ready to go. So I can get these delivered anywhere in the country. There would be a cost involved in that, but if you email me your postcode, I'll let you know exactly what that is. And it would come to you on a flatbed or a trailer, and it will be fully charged and ready to use. So if you're interested, then you're welcome to come here at Lyford and view it and have a test drive. But if you just want to go ahead and buy it, then obviously I can get it delivered to you, and this one is ready to go.